Man, it's Reek, Ball Hawk Sports, man. Man, I just want to do a little. I want to chop it up with y'all. I don't know how many of y'all are Pelicans fans or live in New Orleans or like the Pelicans, but talk to me, man. How do y'all feel about the state of the Pelicans and where they're at right now? When I look at the Pelicans, I see a team that's in distress. Not really in distress in a way of they don't have anything or any bright spots. They do because Derek Queen just had a 30-point double double last night, if I'm not mistaken. Played very good and did that against one of the best bigs in the league, which was Jokic. But the problem that I have with the Pelicans is, man, they have no future assets and they suck. Their record is horrible and they have no future assets. Zion still, it's to me he halfway don't want to play and then he is always hurt. So I'm not gonna make it seem like he just don't want to be out there because he is hurt. But sometimes it just seems like it's over exaggerated because he just may not want to be in New Orleans no more. And we've been hearing that since 2022. Apparently, he's been wanting to not really be in New Orleans for 2 to 3 years now, but he's still there because he signed an extension. He has to take the money. You'd be stupid not to take it. So, with that being said, man, Joe Dumars became the GM over the summer and over this past summer, to summer 25. And the first thing that he did was he traded a pick back to Indiana that that they owned for this upcoming draft. Now, Indiana is one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NBA right now. That pick would have been a very high pick. So imagine the core of what New Orleans or the Pelicans have right now, and take it and then add a top 5 pick to it in this year's draft class, which is 2026. They will get they will get even more dangerous. And the thing is, they're not even really dangerous now. And that brings me to my next point. I think it's time for them to move off of Zion. I think Zion is not this scary threat. This is not 2019 anymore. This is not this physically imposing guy that just can't be stopped. He probably still can't be stopped, but you're not scared of him anymore just because it's like, okay, we've seen this already. He ain't LeBron, he ain't the most dominant force we've ever seen down there. So for me, he ain't Shaq, So it's just like at this point, I think the Pelicans need to move off of Zion, allow Zion to go to a team where he could be the second option and really try to compete. Because I don't think that any team will win a championship or even be a perennial playoff team or getting a perennial team, a team that's getting to the second round and up. More than anything, I don't see Zion leading that. I don't see him being the first option for that. I see him being a very, very good, high value second option, and that'll be the type of team he competes on. I don't see him being the first option just because of the inconsistencies. And two, I think Zion goes through mental things too, but of course we won't know because we're on the outside looking in. But the Pelicans have to do something to recoup their picks and their assets, and I think that if they move off of Trey Murphy. No, not Trey Murphy. If they move off of Zion Williamson and then also Herb Jones, they'll be able to get some of those picks and those assets back. If they can trade Zion and get 2 first-round picks back, that'd be amazing. If you trade Herb Jones and get a pick and 2 young players who could be promising in the future, that works. So, yeah, man, I just think it's time for the Pelicans to go ahead and start making these decisions because they're not going to be a playoff team. They're not look like they're not going to be a play-in team. So they have to get it together now because if they don't, then it's like you're just wasting the season and allowing other teams to have your pick and stuff like that. So the Pelicans have to do a better job of retaining their assets and getting them back because now they don't have any and they're really going to need them. So, shout out Pelicans, man. We'll see what they're doing soon.